guys, I just wanted to quickly pop in and share something with you guys. My daughter Haley just had a baby boy a few weeks ago, and she is coming out for a couple of weeks, and I wanted to throw a baby shower for her. And her baby's name is Hunter, so I kind of wanted to use that as our theme, and so I've chosen to use the buffalo check and wood slices and deer I thought of camouflage, like doing blue camouflage, but it just wasn't working, and this is so much more her, and so this is what I went with. So this is a banner that I've made, and I wanted to share with you the banner. I thought maybe I'll just share with you each step that I go through, and you can see, and then I'll show you the final party. I'll take pictures and videos at the final party. So first of all, I wanted to show you, the basis of my banner is this banner that I cut from our banner parade from Fun Stamper's Journey. I've used the biggest one, so here's the biggest one, and this obviously is not the color I used, but I was able to fit two on our paper, and then this is what I was left with. The way I made the paper, I didn't have a stencil, I didn't have paper like this, and so I went on to Publisher and made this design just using little squares. I made just a little bit and then just kept reproducing it until I had a whole page full of it. And I have that available if you want it. I just then took my rich coral cardstock, put it through my printer, and printed that onto it. And it took me 4 pages of that because there's 8. So, and don't throw this away because I'm making something else out of this, and I'll show you that next time. So I used the biggest banner die. It's called Banner Parade, Fun Stamper's Journey. I'll link to that. This is one of my most used dies. Apparently, I love to make banners because I have used this so much. Okay, so that's what I did, but after I made this, Fun Stamper's Journey came out with 2 things that I could have used, and one of them is they have a stencil that does this exact pattern. So you would just put the stencil down and either ink or paint your pattern on. It'd be so easy. So they have a stencil, and I will put a link to that. They also have this. They must have known I needed this, but they were a little late because I'd already made mine. But this cute paper, already made, already done. This is their Cozy Prints printed paper, and so cute. It is in our Journey Holidays mini catalog, and anything in this really is cute. It's got great stuff, and I have these catalogs. If you want one, contact me. Cute stuff. It's good till December, and so that paper will be gone after December. The papers they're coming out with lately are just over the top cute. I just love them so much. So this is how it works. There are 4 of each of these patterns, and these patterns are on the backs. So it's double-sided. So this is the back of this. Isn't that cute? And we have stamp sets that also coordinate with the paper, which is really fun. So, and this, of course, matches our cardstock, so your colors are going to be right on. I'll show you the back of this. So cute. So there's 6 different patterns on one side, and then each has a different on the reverse side. So we've got 12 patterns all together, and there are 24 pieces in all. So 4 of each piece. So really cute. if they would have had that, I would have just used it. I do want to say, though, it's thinner than regular cardstock. It is cardstock, which is really nice. Since I've started using patterned cardstock, years ago, I started using the patterned cardstock. I have a really hard time using the paper now because the cardstock is just nicer. But since it's a little thinner than our cardstock, if you're doing it outside, I'm hoping to have this shower outside. So if you're planning on doing it outside, if I were you, I might cut cardstock banners and then just glue them together so that you have it a little bit stronger. But if you're inside, this should be fine. So there's that. And then I wanted to show you, I had initially done the banner with just the buffalo plaid, but then because I want to have it outside, I thought I want it to be bigger. And so I stuck the wood slices in between. And I wanted to show you how I did those. I went online and looked for some, and they're all over the place online, but I didn't want to pay for one, and I didn't want to put my email in and get the free ones and have them have my email. And so especially when I look at it, it's so easy. I thought, why would I pay for something when I can just easily make it myself? So I'm going to show you how to make that. But before I do, I wanted to also show you these ones. I used our journey circles for an anchor to put my letters on. You can get these letters from the Alpha Bold dies. They are still rule dies, so they're the nice thick. They're not the thin metal dies, which are great. These are great. The steel rule is like really, really nice. It's the kind you'll find if you go to a scrapbook store or a craft store and they let you cut your own dies. These are the same thing as that. The steel rule, I'll show you one. The steel rule are thick, and there's metal down in here that cuts it. So you can cut thicker materials with it. You can cut more than one layer with it. It's great. So it's called Alpha Bold. They are, I think it's 150. It comes with 4 plates. So it's a great deal, but you're buying a lot. So I actually did not use that for mine because I don't have those yet, but they are #1 on my wish list. And so I just used my Cricut and used a font that mimicked the Alpha Bold. So very simple, very straight, not fancy, no serif on it. Serif is the little lines, just simple. That's what the Alpha Bold looks like. So I will link to the Alpha Bold. Like I said, I will be getting those. I just need to do it and stop getting everything else. But when I get it, I'll show those to you. They're awesome. And if you get it before me, I'll be kind of jealous. And then there's an there's a steel rule die that's smaller, and it's has this deer and a bunch of other things, and that is popped up. And then this one is a thin metal die, and it has the word hello, and I just put like 3 on top of each other and glued those on, so everything's popped up. So that's how I did this. If you're using the Alpha Bold die, you can either cut around, it doesn't have a shadow, but you can cut your own shadow, or you can kind of offset the two and it would make a shadow. I used my Cricut to do that, and I cut a shadow on that. So anyway, I thought it'd be fun to show you how I did these wood slices. Oh, okay, one more thing is I wanted to show you how I attach this together. I have done it in the past where I did one long string and threaded all of the letters on it, and they all scoot to the middle. So I do not like that method. You could put beads in between or tie knots or something, that would work. But I prefer this method where I just tie each. I put a hole in each and just tie a little thing in between. So I just used regular black yarn for that. And then on the end, I put a big long end because I don't know yet where I'm putting it, and I don't know how much I'll need. And what I did is I doubled it the size that I wanted, threaded it through, took both sides and tied them in a knot, pulled that through, tied it in a knot. And then the reason I did it that way is so that when, oh, and I also tied it in a knot right here. The reason I did it that way is so that when I do go to tie it, I can tie it around something and make a bow if I choose. If I don't choose, I can still just tie it the way it would be if it was only one layer. So anyway, so there's that. So let's make our wood slice. Like I said, I went online and there were tons of them available, but I just thought this would be so easy to make. So I'll show you how I made it. What I did first was, and here's the one that I made. What I did first is I took something round that was about just approximately the size that I want this to end up. And I took a pencil, and you're going to want to do it lightly, but I'll do it a little heavier so you can see it. And I just made a circle. And obviously this is not a perfect circle. This is just a guide more for size than anything. And so I just started with the little hole in the center and just started going around that. I try to start at different spaces so that my circles won't all end up being exactly the same. You can put these together as close as you want or as far apart as you want. It's just honestly what you want. One thing, when I come to where I started, I try to kind of keep going and overlap a little so it doesn't make such a strong mark where the two ends meet. But it doesn't matter, especially if you're making a banner, because nobody's going to be looking at this close up anyway. So just keep going until you get it to about the size you want. Kind of swerve around a little bit. Each layer's different. Okay, so now I've got it about the size I want it. So I'm going to do one more ring, but on this one I'm going to do jaggedy edges. Jaggedy's not really a word, is it? Jagged edges. Just kind of wiggle your edges a little bit, because that's the bark that you see on a real wood chip. And then you're going to take your Sharpie. See how easy this is? I'm already done. It's already drawn. You're just going to color in that space between those last two lines that you drew. And that is your bark. You could do it a little thinner if you want. I think I did a little thinner on this one. But honestly, it doesn't matter. So you just color that in. And then when you're all done with it, just take your eraser and erase any of that pencil line that still shows. And then you have your wood slice. And I stuck a piece of paper under it because it's Sharpie and that goes through. So there's your wood slice. And if you see on these, they're brown. Well, you can use, I used our oatmeal cookie paper, and you could just draw with a brown Sharpie. That would be perfectly fine. But I wanted mine all the same, and I didn't want to make mistakes on my cardstock. So what I did is I just used the black marker on the computer paper, and then I scanned this onto my computer, and I switched the color in Publisher, and then printed it out on my oatmeal cookie cardstock. So that's how I did it. Although If you don't even want to make one of these, you don't even have to, because I have this saved for you. I put 2 of these fit on a page, and so this size, and then I also took it and made them a little smaller, made it 4 to a page, and I've got those all, they're already brown. I've got those that I'll add a link to, and if you want to use those, you're welcome to use them. So anyway, that is it. And I'm really excited about this party. I think it's a cute theme. Hunter just lent itself so easily to a theme. And when you do a party, I think coming up with a theme and a color scheme makes everything so easy and so perfect. And it just, that's the way to do it, according to me. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of projects and a lot of black and red. And I think it'll be really fun. And I hope you'll join me. Probably next, I'll show you what I'm making out of the scraps from that paper that I cut the banners out of. So hopefully you'll join me next time. Thank you so much.